It's the Morning Blend with Kelly Nyberg and Mike DiGiacomo. Omaha's only live local talk show starts right now.
Absolutely. Well, for teenagers, troubling acne can be a constant struggle. But we know someone who can help. Dr. Joel Schlessinger is in. The doctor is in. Coming up next. And in the Blend green room. I think is he in there? I don't see the doc in there, but I do see the Martin. Speaking of the doctor is in, we'll talk about hypnosis for weight loss, stress management. Hey, if you Google how to lose weight, maybe you can get directed to their office. We'll also talk Cub Scouting, and a comedian is on deck later in the show, John Henton. So stick around. The Morning Blend rolls on this Go Big Red Friday. Hard to beat acne tends to start in our teenage years and sometimes even carries into adulthood. And frankly, it can be pretty embarrassing. That's right. Well, there are countless treatment options out there, but what could really clear your skin for good? Dr. Joel Schlessinger has a solution, and he's back on the Blend to tell us more. Good morning.
Great to be here.
You look very handsome today.
Thank you so much. As do you guys.
Handsome every day. And we got a little red in the pocket square. I like
go Huskers.
it. That's right. We're ready for it. Well, let's dive into this. So what really causes teenage acne?
Well, you know, there are a lot of things that cause teenage acne, but the things that I really like to concentrate on are what things cause acne that can be easily treated and can lead to actually a cure of the acne rather than just using some over-the-counter product for the rest of your life.
Now, what about sports and acne? Because I think a lot of us think when we work out or when we get sweaty, maybe that's contributing to the problem.
Right. You know, so a lot of people attribute that to it. My feeling, on the other hand, Kayla, is that it's honestly a combination of the sports plus the bacteria and all the dirt and grime that you come across in the sports. So, for example, I have a lot of people who play, you know, women who come in who play volleyball, for example. And if you think about that volleyball, the ball that they're taking and that they're using on that court, think of how many places that ball bounces. Think of how many people that ball's touched by, and those hands are not clean. The floor is not clean. And then what do? They go like this on their face because they're sweating. So a lot of sports is about being careful, being smart about after you're on the court. Wash your face. This is like such a simple thing, and most people will, maybe they'll wash it with a little bit of water, just a towel down, but it may be hours before they take a shower, especially if you're doing something in school. So think of what happens in school. Nobody goes into the showers anymore, from what I understand.
They don't, no.
Yeah. So they're sitting around in those germs after playing volleyball or kickball or whatever they do in sports, and they are getting that bacteria that is just colonizing them at that point. So a lot of times what I do is I'll take a little bacterial culture on my patients, and it is amazing what you'll find and what you can treat.
Now, my question is, I mean, I think we probably all have. I mean, it's not even just your face. It could be your back. It could be, do you treat that as well? If you're sitting in that sweat.
Absolutely. That's the thing. And sometimes what is acne is not actually acne. It's actually a little yeast infection. So those little bumps that you can see, little tiny bumps on the face, are actually many times yeast rather than acne. And it's a special treatment for that. So you can't really see the results from typical things like the average dermatologist or place might use doxycycline. Well, doxycycline isn't all that great anymore. It's not been good for many years. So it's rare that doxycycline has a huge win on acne these days. So there are other ones that do work, however, and can treat it.
I don't want to hold off any longer on these before and after pictures that we have to show. So let's take a look at those.
Absolutely.
And can you walk us through what actually worked for these patients?
So this is an Accutane patient of mine who had remarkable treatments. And, you know, a lot of the people come in and they say, what can I do for my scarring? And if you look at this picture, that's scarring that is amazingly treated, and it's gone now.
Flawless,
and you can see such a dramatic improvement. Same thing here, Accutane treatment.
On the cheeks and chin.
And it treats not only acne, but also treats the scarring. Here's another person who was on Accutane, and again, these amazing before and afters. People would think that they are laser treatments or something that was expensive, and Accutane is covered by medications and by insurance, and it's so simple. And what an amazing difference it can show in somebody.
No.
It's a life-changing difference.
Right.
Now, we don't always need to use Accutane, however. Accutane is for our worst cases, and this person, for example, did not need Accutane. She was on standard acne treatments that I use.
Stunning.
Incredible.
I mean, it's life-changing, and she has no scarring left. Same thing there, standard acne treatments, no Accutane, because, you know, I don't go to Accutane unless I need it, but there's a, you know, a tremendous difference, and these are easy things, but it is something that is more than over-the-counter. You're not going to find these treatments by, you know, watching an infomercial late at night and using the medication that they, or the treatments that they say. You're going to have to go to a dermatologist because these are a little bit more complicated than just a simple cream or cleanser. Now, we have many that are good for ancillary treatments, and I definitely like that, but I think that you're going to have to use a little bit more than that in many of these more severe cases.
Right. Now, what about preventative measures that we can take? I mean, daily cleaning, are there products out there?
Absolutely. There are a lot of products that are helpful, and if you have mild to moderate acne, they'll work. If you have moderate to severe, you probably need to see a dermatologist. Now, the other thing that is a simple thing, don't drink milk. Milk has hormones in it, and those hormones can actually activate the acne. So even if you get skim milk, more hormones than whole milk.
So dairy is tough.
Yeah, almond milk. Awesome, it's brilliant.
Right.
People use a lot of things that for their acne, and just by simply avoiding regular cow's milk and going to almond milk, it can make a huge difference.
What about cheese, yogurt?
Same
I mean,
thing.
Yogurt has milk in it, right?
Same thing, but you know, I think milk is actually the worst of the worst.
Okay.
And,
Because of the
you know,
hormones?
Hormones, and when, okay, so like you can eat pizza because the cheese in it has been baked and the hormones get kind of neutralized.
That's good news.
Yeah, so
I love
more pizza, less milk.
Yeah, I like it.
So the best place to start, obviously, is by calling your office. I mean, I think as a parent, too, when you're in this situation where maybe your teenager's dealing with this, you don't really know where to start. And you know the difference, the treatment options that are out there. You guys are experts, all of your office staff, so just basically call and come in for a consultation with your staff.
Absolutely, and the thing about it is that it's treatable. A lot of people say, hey, I'm just going to get through it. I got through acne, and my kid can get through acne too. But the reality now is it's tougher. There are a lot more things that cause it. Bacteria can cause it, and I don't care how long you want to tough it out. You're going to need some treatment if it's a bacterial infection, just like you would never tough out a strep throat. You would never tough out what could be acne, but is reality. And just those very simple things about sports. Wash right after your sports. Try not to do this while you're in a sport situation. Do this with the back of your hand that hasn't touched the ball, touched the equipment, and you will probably save about 50% of the cases of acne.
Well, a lot of great tips, things that I never really thought of, so that's awesome. Well, thank you, Doctor. We appreciate it.
And great to be here.
All right, and go
absolutely.
Huskers.
You
Go
betcha.
Huskers.
Have a good
We'll see you
weekend.
next month, okay?
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Doc. Well, guests of the Morning Blend start their day with coffee from Pears Gourmet, the official